welcome all to the third edition of Raise Your Vibration Online here. We have Gwen and Kay, my amazing hostess with the mostest. And Gwen's been, gosh, she was at our first two live events that we had here in Phoenix and has been an amazing integral part of Raise Your Vibration and awesome help for me. So I'm grateful you're here, Gwen. Thank you. And got some great guests on the call today, or on the online today, the Zoom. And we've got some amazing speakers. We have Sue Frederick, who is an intuitive and has been intuitive for over 30 years, has written over 8 books, speaks internationally, has been interviewed, I found out, over 200 times, and is going to be speaking about intuition and cynicism and what we do in this time of what's going on in the world. I have Dominic Quinn Harkin, who is going to be leading a little meditation at the end. He is an energy worker and has been, I've known him for over 12 years now. We've been great friends. And here he is going to be leading us through an energy clearing at the end of this. And then we have Colby Jeffers, who has also been part of Raise Your Vibration and a great inspiration for me with his lyrics, his music. I heard him first at Unity of Phoenix a couple years ago. He had a song called Unity, which his lyrics just changed my world. He's got a song called, what do you call it?
Change the World?
What's that?
Change the World, or which song?
Change the World, thank you. I'm blanking on the name. Change the World, which is also an amazing song that we do at every one of our Raise Your Vibration events. He's been at the past 2 Raise Your Vibration live events, which hopefully once we're offline, we're going to be able to do more. Or once we're out of the house, we're going to be doing more live events. So cool. And we're going to start with Colby doing a song to start everything out. So take it on, brother.
Cool. Thanks, Howard.
You're welcome.
And yeah, be here with everyone. This is so cool. It's been pretty incredible, seeing how humanity is going through this crisis and seeing how we're all responding to it. And I think these are the types of responses that, obviously we need, rather than people going and hoarding stuff and being selfish, like really trying to be of service any way that you can, even if it means, staying in your home. So props to you, Howard. This is awesome. And I got my little setup here in my office. Got this out and had to change my little letterboard here to raise the vibration this morning. So got a few songs I thought I'd share that were relevant, and we're gonna do our best here. Hopefully you guys, I'm gonna have the phone close to my face so you can hear my lyrics. We did a little test yesterday, just so that it comes through clearly. So
you sound great.
Okay, awesome. So this song is called Need a Doctor, and I thought it was particularly relevant with the situation going on right now. So it's a very reflective song, so feel free to just take it in and meditate on the words. So the past few weeks, the world's been ravaged by this COVID-19 situation, but that's not the only disease that humanity's facing. I think it's time for a checkup, a visit to the doctor. Humanity is sick, and what's causing it, I'm not sure. But everywhere I look and everywhere I go, I'm seeing sickness and disease like it's becoming status quo. Poverty, people turning to robbery to put food up on the table, and seeing that bothers me. We got terrorism, unhealthy patriotism, see nothing but criticism when I watch the television. We got no solidarity and growing wealth disparities between the poor and those with money and authority. Got malnutrition, can't trust our politicians, overpopulated prisons, overstocking ammunitions. We got sexism and complex schisms, trying to use my lyricism to bring us some optimism. So let's come together, turn our faces to the sky, cause to bring us back to health, we'll need some help from the divine, some help from the divine. Yeah, some help from the divine. Some say that humanity's a virus, that mankind has put the world into a crisis. The environment is sick, it's got bronchitis. Seems like our climate's got a case of meningitis. I'm talking climate change, environmental degradation, dirty drinking water causing death in third world nations, earthquakes and hurricanes bringing devastation. I think it's Mother Earth communicating her frustration. Giant garbage patches floating in the ocean. In global warming, it's melting all of our snow, man. Pesticides, we're killing the butterflies. Our actions are
are leading to biological homicide. We've got to do something to save the forests and the trees, to save the animals, the rivers, and all of the seas. So we turn to the Creator, the supreme physician. To God we offer up this prayer. Yeah, we hope you're listening. We hope you're listening. God, I hope you're listening. Yo, all of this talk of our sickness, but what's the cure? We've got to turn to the divine, yeah, let's explore. The fate of the world is connected with the fate of man, and man is endowed with a spirit. Please let me expand. If people don't develop morally and spiritually, then we'll continue down this path of sickness, don't you see? We've got to focus on our virtues and our values. If you don't know any, then please let me spit out a few. I'm talking honesty and honor and integrity, faith and forgiveness, courtesy and sensitivity, respect, courage, understanding, and truthfulness, responsibility, love, and diligence, wisdom, tolerance, justice, and humility. And if we practice these, we'll have peace and tranquility. Yeah, if we want a better world to last forevermore, we gotta focus on our soul.
All right, that was amazing. Thank you, Colby. I love your lyrics. They're just fabulous. And I look forward to hearing more from you after we have Sue Frederick come on and do a little talk for us. And Sue, I already told you all about Sue and her experience as an intuitive. She's an amazing author and has been interviewed many times worldwide. And looking forward to you telling us your intuition, Sue, and letting us know what's going on. So welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to connect with everybody here. And I have to say, Colby, I love that song so much because you were talking about how we really need some help from the divine. We need to turn our faces to the sky. Well, that is really what intuition is, in my definition of it, in the way I work with it. And what I do in all my books, I See Your Dream Job, Your Divine Lens, is teach all of you how to trust your intuitive wisdom. Intuition it's our gut feeling. It's the energy we feel when our stomach feels scared or nervous or excited or fluttery. That's our intuition giving giving us guidance about the challenges that we're facing. So a good way to understand it is that intuition comes from the heart. So it's connected with feelings, and those feelings are connected with the body. So you're always in a conversation with what your intuition and your gut says. And how do you know that it's intuition and not just your fear voice? Well, one simple way to know is that it marinates you in a feeling of confidence, wisdom, love, empowerment, never in fear. So if you're feeling afraid, that is a lower consciousness part of you that's speaking up. We can call it the ego mind or the ego lens. But intuition and divine guidance is your connection to your beautiful, unrefined truth from your soul, unclouded by the monkey mind. It's the knowingness that comes when you stop talking. It's the feeling that overpowers you in spite of logic. It's the voice that whispers in your ear and the nudge you often ignore in deference to being practical. It's our right brain, expanded consciousness guiding us as planned. So your intuition is your gateway to your higher self. It's not your logic mind, your linear thinking, realistic part of you. It's your dreamy, gut feeling, creative self, the part of you that knows the truth but doesn't know why it's true. Your intuition is your sweet spot. Robert Graves, an English poet, says that intuition is the super logic that cuts out all the routine processes of thought and leaps straight from the problem to the answer. When we're being cynical, we think we're protecting ourselves, but cynicism at its core is really fear, and fear is the opposite of divine love. Cynicism shuts down our intuition. whereas intuition is trying to guide us, trying to navigate us, but we have to trust it. So love is the gateway to your intuition. So remember when you fall in love, how open you feel and receptive, and you sort of know your lover's thinking. That is your intuition coming through that heart part of you, the soul part of you. Remember that feeling, and remember how eventually we fall in love, we just start shutting that down, you know, because it's a little uncomfortable, and maybe we go more into our monkey mind and our cynicism, and then our relationship might suffer and have problems. But when we open our heart again and we get in touch with that higher self, that inner wisdom, we feel so much in alignment, not only with our love and our acceptance and our compassion, but with the other person that we're in relationship with. You know, you sense what they're feeling even when you're not around them. And I think it's interesting that we're so much more comfortable listening to intuition about love, falling in love, than we are about making career choices and everyday practical choices where we go, oh, well, I need to be practical. What I really want to do is this, but I have to be practical and make a living. I tell my students all the time and my clients, no, that higher self part of you that's telling you what you really want to do, that is your inner guidance. Now you've just got to bring your practical, logical mind to making that higher plan unfold. So everybody who's ever had a career change knows that it's terrifying, and that you're going to have that fear voice mind in you saying, don't do it, don't trust your intuition, you're going to end up broke and homeless. And then you've got your heart and your higher self going, no, this really feels right. I have to do this. So the more we listen to that higher self, that inner guidance, the more in touch we are to what we should be doing and the career we did come here to share with the world and the love we did come here to experience. And we are all intuitive. Everybody has a right brain and a left brain. That means we all have a doorway to our intuitive, creative self through the right brain. And this is what guides us when we're not listening to that left brain linear thinking chatter that tells us we need to be afraid. And that logical mind that's touted on the news and everywhere as being the whole truth, that's logic mind is only showing us half the truth. Our intuitive self, our heart, is giving us the wisdom that we really do need. And being practical above all else does not get us where we came here to go in our evolution as souls. Being cynical actually blocks our divine guidance. It blocks our higher self. So if you look at these times right now and you say, you know, there's so much fear and there's cynicism about, you know, about who do I believe and what stories do I believe are true. That seems to be the sickness of the world that we're really going through right now, that cynicism, that fear, that doubt. And I believe that this pandemic is our time to remember our inner guidance, our higher self. So the biggest way to try to think of this or to picture it is to remember, you know, you're an energy being. The quantum physicists say that a pulsing, you know, you're just a pulsing wave of light connected to the energetic fabric that makes up the entire universe. Quantum physicists refer to this as the membrane theory. They say we're all made of the same energy, waves of light that join and connect us. They're describing intuition. Your consciousness is so much bigger than your mind and your ego. Your feelings and your intuition connect you to everyone else, to all other beings here. And fear is the only thing that blocks this divine portal for all of us. When we're afraid, we're in the opposite of love, and that shuts down our connection to our higher self. When we're tapped into the fear, we're in that low vibration, negative state. It's what I call pitiful thinking. And this kind of pitiful thinking makes us feel bad. It drains our energy. It makes us anxious and depressed, and it clouds our connection to our higher self. Our intuition speaks up in those quiet moments when our fear and chatter settles down and we simply know what's true, know it in our bones. It's a peaceful knowing brought to us courtesy of our higher self, and it announces exactly what we need to know, exactly when we need to know it to fulfill our mission. Its timing is always perfect, and it uses any means available to reach us. We have the dream when we need the dream. We feel a strong urge to do something exactly when it's time to do it. And we get a visual image of what we're needing to see while we're stopped and maybe meditating or sitting in a stoplight in our car. And we know we've met our soulmate the minute we hear their voice. So how do we discriminate between the intuition and the monkey mind? The answer lies in this really simple question. How does the information that you're receiving feel in your body, in your heart? If it's intuition, it's going to come to you in a frequency of light and love and empowerment. Even if it's telling you about a challenge, it's going to give you a sense of understanding, wisdom, knowing that you've got this, that you can move through it. It shines light on your confusion. It shines love on your fear. So pay attention to those gut feelings that make you feel excited, joyful, compassionate, empowered, and full of wisdom. That's your intuition. Whatever fills you with love and joy is right for you. Dismiss whatever fills you with fear or dread. And do you sometimes ignore those intuitive hunches? Do you ignore precognitive dreams that you might be having? Every time you ignore that inner voice, you weaken it. You can think of your intuition as like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The less you use it, the weaker it gets. If you ask for divine guidance and you're given a sign or a gut feeling, pay attention to it. When I first started working as a career coach in the 70s, I got a lot of intuitive hunches about my clients and visions. Sometimes I saw them in careers that they were dreaming of, but I didn't trust it. I was trying to follow my left brain logic mind and be practical and realistic. So I would give them a million tests to take and ask them 1,000 questions. And what I've learned is that all that information eventually got me to the same place that my intuition was giving me when I would start to work with them. So now with my clients, I just shortcut right to the intuition. And this insight, this intuition helps my clients and students, but mostly I teach them that they have access to that inner voice. So all of you know about meditation. We talk about it here. We talk about it at Unity. You know, meditation, I want you to think of it this way. It's about quieting that monkey mind and listening, not thinking, not visualizing, not any of that stuff. It's about listening to that quiet inner guidance that comes through when we're quiet and peaceful, and we're not letting our monkey mind drag us down all kinds of crazy thought loops. So here's an example. When I meditate, and I've been meditating now for, 40 years, I really found that I really like using those Sanskrit mantras because they really quiet my mind so quickly. The Hindus and the Buddhists knew, thousands of years ago that we need these sacred high frequency words to focus on to help quiet the mind. And that's what Om is. Om is actually the sound of the divine realms. So I like to repeat Om Namah Shivaya. And if you're looking for that mantra, it's in all my books, or you could visit my website, SueFrederick.com. It's an ancient Hindu Sanskrit mantra that carries a very high frequency. Just saying it raises our vibration. So you just quietly repeat Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and you let that beautiful frequency raise your vibration. And as your thoughts jump in, notice them, but just say, thank you very much, monkey mind. I'm focusing on this mantra. And you just go back to Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And after about 10 minutes, you'll feel your mind begin to quiet. You'll feel your heart begin to open as you really resonate with that beautiful Sanskrit phrase. And you breathe into it. And then ask yourself, your higher self, hey, what is my lesson in this moment? What am I supposed to be learning from this challenge? And pick up your pen and quickly start writing. Don't think about it. Start writing whatever words come to you, and let those words just flow out on the page without editing them. You can also ask questions like, show me my highest step, my highest career, my truest work, and how to move forward in that direction. But any question you ask, you're going to begin to get amazing guidance as you just write quickly. Don't edit, don't stop and think about it, and just see what comes through for you on that paper. And then you can get up and go about your day. And anytime, you know, you're having a decision to make and you're not sure what to do, you can just, again, repeat that mantra and just sort of quiet the mind. And then maybe pick up that paper and pen, ask a question, and let the writing guide you. I do so many workshops where people start out telling me, I have no intuition, you know, I never hear an inner guidance voice. And by the end of the workshop, you know, they're writing pages and pages and going, wow, I've got all the answers I need. So please know that everything you need to know is inside of you. It comes from the heart, from your divine essence. Never scary, never making you want to contract. Instead, it feels expansive and loving and empowering. So on that note, I'd really like to open it up for question and answer, and let me know if you've had intuitive experiences or how you access that, or any questions that you have.
And I just want to say all of you are muted. So if you want to unmute yourself or open up your video, because I did turn some of your videos off, please do that. And Gwen, did you want to ask any questions? Do you have anything?
I'd actually like to ask, I guess I talk to a lot of people and they don't even know what intuition is. So what would you say to somebody who isn't really sure what it is for them? They're just like, they're not even aware of it.
Well, first I would just say, you know, if you think of it in the scientific way, we have a right brain and a left brain. All of us do, or we couldn't be functioning here. And when we're born as children, we are naturally in touch with both hemispheres. We have this creative, beautiful inner guidance coming through us through the right brain, inspiration, creativity. And then the culture we live in is constantly going, oh, well, you need to pay attention. You need to take this test. You need to think logically. And so our left brain begins to take dominance over our right brain. But that doesn't mean our right brain doesn't still try to guide us. And so you can tell a person who doesn't know what intuition is, you know, the more you can use a spiritual practice, a meditation, maybe exercise, whatever it is that helps you quiet that left brain logic, because we know when we're in that left brain logic stuff, we're stuck in our heads. We can feel it, even feel it in our bodies sometimes. So you want to find a way to quiet that. And many people work in professions that completely, you know, reinforce the left brain logic mind. I work with a lot of lawyers actually who have decided that their whole career was based on the left mind, and it's been sucking their soul away, and they want to reinvent their career. And one of the first things they have to do is learn how to quiet that left brain logic mind and trust this other voice, this higher self, intuitive wisdom. Does that answer your question, Gwen?
Gwen, I think you're muted.
Yeah, it takes me a second to unmute. It does a little bit because I personally have had to work really hard because I was always in my left brain. Like, I was always thinking. And it took me a while to figure out where in my body that intuition came from. So like for me, it's like down lower in my gut.
The gut, yeah.
So, so that's where like the things just come to me. Like when I'm in my head and I'm all fearful, like I can feel it in my head.
Yeah, I agree. And you do feel it in the body, you feel it in the gut, but when I say it comes from the heart, it comes in with a certain empowering energy. It doesn't come in with a negative fear-based energy. So for example, when I have had many times where my intuition is telling me about a very difficult situation that's about to happen, and someone I love dying or something like that, and yet it doesn't come in a scary way. It comes in saying, this is happening. Let's quiet our mind and let's get into our empowerment and our wisdom, because we're going to move through this gracefully and with love. But this is what is happening. That's when your intuition is really guiding you from your higher self. I even tell people, if you go see someone who calls themselves a psychic and they tell you something negative or fearful that makes you feel like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen to me, don't listen to that. That isn't true intuitive guidance. That is fear-based monkey mind thinking.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Gwen, I love it that you do laughter workshops, because one of the things I teach is that humor is one of the greatest ways we can raise our energy and connect to our higher self. When that beautiful, open-hearted, loving laughter, and that sounds like that's what you do in your workshops and classes. I want to come to those.
Can I share a quick story?
Yes.
Who's this?
Colby.
Colby, yeah.
Hi, Colby. Your video. Can you do your video there? Yep.
It says it's disabled.
Oh, okay. That must be.
Are you able to?
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Right. While you're doing that, I just wanted to share a story because, man, everything you were saying, Sue, is just so inspiring, and it made me think of my own experiences with intuition. Right. And,
start your video, Colby. There we go.
And I think for me, one of the things that's so awesome about intuition is like the sense of peace it gives me because of the fact of what you're saying of like where it comes from. And so for me, one example that's just been so helpful in my life. So my wife and I, we had been trying to have a child for some time. I think we had been trying for like a year with no success. And then we were actually, we're members of the Baha'i faith, and we were on our Baha'i pilgrimage in Haifa, Israel, visiting some of the holy sites out there. And while we were there, my wife was praying in one of these like really beautiful gardens. And while she was praying, everywhere we went, we were praying, please, God, just give us a child. We want a child. And while she was praying, she felt this kind of this voice, which I interpreted as kind of that intuition that you're speaking of, from the divine, and it said, you're going to have a child and you should name him Noble.
I love it so much. I love this story.
Yeah. It was,
and Colby, people really do get so much intuitive guidance about their children coming in, and mothers listen to it. The women can feel it in their body. I love that story. And Colby, let me tell you my story about that. I had been told.
Can I tell you part of the story?
Tell me the rest. Yeah,
really quick, part two. So then fast forward. Well, so this is the interesting thing. So then fast forward about 4 or 5 months, and my wife got pregnant, but she had an ectopic pregnancy, and it was a miscarriage, which brought, of course, a lot of grief. And so it was kind of this interesting time where it was like, well, we had that intuition, what's going on? And so we ended up going for a Saturday road trip to Payson to kind of heal and pray. And on the way back, we stopped at an ice cream shop and we ran into someone, chance encounter, that I had met at a youth camp, who I didn't really know him, but I had met him, and he happened to also be an intuitive, which I had heard about him, but I hadn't really had a chance to talk to him. And anyway, we sit down. I'm like, hey, do you remember me? I don't remember your name, but we start chatting, and he starts telling me about, you know, his experience as an intuitive. And so all of a sudden we start talking about, you know, what had happened, and he's talking to my wife, and he says, you know, oh, you're going to have a child. You want a child. And then we shared, well, we just had this miscarriage. He said, oh, don't worry. I can see him plain as day. He's right there. He's coming very soon. And also I see another one behind him. That's going to be a girl. I see a girl. And so you're going to have two. And it was just such a chance encounter that I couldn't strike it up to coincidence. I knew that this was divine in nature. And so I've always had this sense of peace. I'm going to have a son and I'm going to have a daughter. And so anyway, fast forward another few months, we got pregnant, and we found out later it was a boy. And of course we named him Noble. And then fast forward another, about a year or so, and we had another miscarriage. And then after that, it was like every month, my wife just had so much anxiety, just wanting to have another child. And of course, you know, I totally get it. But I know for myself, I've just always had this kind of inner peace of like, I know it's coming. Like, I know I don't need to worry about it. It's going to come when it needs to come. And then fast forward again, this past March, and we just found out my wife is pregnant again. And we don't know the gender yet, but I'm like 95% confident that it's going to be a girl. And it's just been, for myself, that tapping into that intuition and trusting it, I guess, is just what I wanted to highlight. It's so important, because then you don't have to be in that fear anymore when you've received divine guidance. So anyway, that's the current, brings us up to the current part of the story. To be continued.
Well, I love that. I love that so much, because I worked with so many moms who, you know, it's true. What happens is intuition gives us the long view, and we get caught up in the details of what's happening right now. So I've worked with many women who I could see that, I would even say, you know, it's going to be a daughter, and yet they had to go through some rough times before they get to that. But I love that story that you told us, because that's one thing about intuition. We have to trust that time and space are not as linear as we process them here in the left brain world. And yet, if we have a vision of something in our future, we have to trust that it's going to arrive at exactly the right time, even if it's not according to our sense of when we want it to be here. And, you know, when I was in my 40s, I'd been told I could never have a child. And I've always wanted to be a mom. I was a Montessori preschool teacher in my 20s. And so, you know, I had really reached a place of finally that, and saying, well, I'll just love on everybody as if they're my child. And I had a dream. And in the dream, I flew into this house. It was a beautiful house. I write about this dream in my, and I flew into this white house and in a room, and it was just a white room, nothing in there except this little girl who stepped forward, and she had a beautiful face with brown eyes and blonde hair. And I said, "Are you going to be my baby?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, who are you? What's your name?" And she, I get emotional about this because it was so strong. She just looked at me and she said, "I love you so much. My name is Sarah." And oh my God. And then right to the side of her was a little boy, and he was a little more hesitant about coming forward, but he was over to her side, and I was very aware of him in the room. And this moment with Sarah of just us exchanging all this love, and her telling me she was a girl and her name was Sarah. And I woke up and I told everybody, I'm gonna have a baby and her name is Sarah. And believe it or not, I was already pregnant and didn't know it. And by the time I found out it was a legitimate pregnancy, and my baby girl was born, she looked exactly the way that little girl had looked. And of course, her name is Sarah, and she's been the greatest blessing of my life. And then the little boy who was off to the side is my gorgeous stepson, Kai, who came in a little bit after Sarah and became part of our family. And now both kids are in their 20s and got raised and grown. And I still love that dream, that knowing this, that they were going to come into my life, even though it didn't seem that way at the time.
That's an amazing story. Thanks for sharing, Sue. And let's get one more question here, and then we're gonna move on with some more music and some meditation. So anyone else out there want to jump on in and unmute yourself and turn your video on if you want? Anyone? All right, some shy people today. Actually, we have someone in the chat who asked a question. Debbie, she asked, I was told intuition is left brain and right brain is logic. Is that right?
No, the logic mind is your left brain. Your right brain hemisphere is your creative, intuitive, I call it our spiritual voice coming through in the right brain. You know, that's why when you take these creativity classes, you know, they say drawing from the right brain or creating from the right brain. I like to teach writing from the right brain because it just purely, you know, it comes to us in such a creative, inspired way. It's kind of the way you think of a great artist creating something. They say, I don't know where it came from. It was already there. That's really a description of that right brain portal.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. The other question, well, I have a question for you right now with your intuition, Sue. What do you think is happening right now on the planet? And
Yeah.
what do you get intuitively?
We're just at a gorgeous spiritual reinvention point. And you know, we all have many personal reinventions in our lives. And I'm a master numerologist, so I really help people work with their own personal reinventions that they go through every 9 years. But we're now on this global planetary reinvention. And it's just so fascinating to watch it because the way you move through a reinvention, as any spiritually wise person will tell you, is first you have to surrender the old. You have to surrender what no longer serves you. And so we look at this planet and how things are happening now with us not driving every day, with us not being in our, you know, crazy hectic lives. And we see actually a lot of good things happening, as well as the things that are very hard, like people getting sick and dying. And I think the more we can grieve what our losses are from our heart, but then really try to trust that this reinvention is taking us to a new and better place, because that's what all reinventions do for us. It's a spiritual process of getting rid of the old and awakening to the new. And our lives in the future, I believe, are going to be more heartfelt, more intuitive, more connected to meaningful work and meaningful lives than ever. And we will have finally ended a time in our evolution that was so ego-centered and so heartless in so many ways. And that's my take on it.
So looking forward to those times. It's going to be amazing. So thank you so much, Sue. And please put your information in the chat for everyone, your website and everything. And amazing to have you here, all your knowledge. Thank you. Thank you. And we look forward to having you again. So thanks. Next, Colby's going to do a couple more songs. So Colby, look forward to it. Take it away, brother.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you again, Sue. Oh, that was so inspiring and beautiful, and just got my soul and intuition activated. So I'm excited to, you know, it's funny. We definitely go through the ebbs and flows, and I feel like I needed that today to get more back into that intuitive space. So thank you so much for everything you shared. And yeah, I think your assessment of the world situation is spot on. In the Baha'i writings, it talks a lot about like the rhythm of crisis and victory, and how, you know, like you said, personally we have it, but at a world level we have it. And crisis actually allows for that, like you were saying, the reinvention of things and building new things that need to serve us better. So with that, I wanted to transition into the next track I'm going to do, which is also in the Baha'i writings. You know, there's many different adjectives that are used to describe the higher being, the creative force of the universe, that I think our soul reflects all those beautiful qualities. And again, I think the soul is what gives us access to that intuition. That's just my understanding or interpretation of it. So in the Baha'i writings, there's many obviously great adjectives to describe God, the creator, the all-merciful, the all-forgiving, the all-powerful, the most generous, you know, all these things, the all-wise. And there's one that when I created this song that really was sticking out to me, and I think it's really relevant right now, and that's the omnipotent. And omnipotent just means, you know, everywhere, and power, just everywhere there's power that we can tap into. And I think these type of situations worldwide kind of remind us of the power of the divine creator, in the sense that sometimes we just want to rely on ourselves, and then something like this happens and it's like, yep, you just, like, something else is in control, and it's really pushing us to understand something better and more important. So this song is called Omnipotent. It's one that brings a lot of energy. I normally like performing this one with the crowd, but we're going to try it digitally and see how it goes. Hopefully you feel the energy as well. The instrumentation sounds okay? Yeah? Okay. Woo! Who we praising? I'm not a fighter. Call me the true lover. Devoted friend, reach in the presence of the beloved. Awestruck at the sparkling beauty. Feel the fire, feel the blaze, feel it flowing right through me. Burning veils, burning wrappings, walking through the trappings as the flame burns from my heart to my skin. I feel it deep within. Let the fire of love burn till nothing remains except a true friend. Revelations, everlasting, down from the kingdom, spinning quick. I call it fasting, cause every time I'm turning my eye into the divine, I'm feeling so fine. Material needs not bothering me, intoxicated by the choice wine. The spirit of life, drink up your cup, yeah, throw your hands up, all love to the Most High. You wonder us utterance, we listen, we arise, in your name we glorify. Hey, can I get a hallelujah? Smell the Holy Spirit running through ya. Who we praising? The most generous, the all-merciful, divine providence, the all-powerful, divine countenance, the all-glorious, the all-bounteous, we victorious. Cause we turn our face unto the cause and we lifting up our hands, giving all the praise to God. Feel the love flowing infinite. And we know we powerless without the power, of the omnipotent. I opened up the window and let the light come right in. You can find me riding to where the Most High be, asking God to enlighten me with this light in me, burning veil so I can see his dynasty. Please define me, cause I've been struggling with my faith, like who should I praise if I want to be saved? Cause if the rapture was today, I'd be afraid of where I would go. Please save me, I give my trust to you, and these sun rays shine deeply on me. I'll reflect it right back out into the community. I'll disconnect negative energy with the pouch you send me through my written verses. Got me feeling perfect with purpose. I stay searching, dispersing this gift, rehearsing, reversing curses so I can lift this message to heaven. I'm breathless by the beauty. Now listen to this. Hey, God is glorious, Allah Pa. So open up and feel the glory of Baha'u'llah Pa, praising the most generous, the all-merciful, divine providence, the all-powerful, divine countenance, the all-glorious, the all-bounteous, we victorious. Cause we turn our face unto the cause and we lifting up our hands, giving all the praise to God. Feel the love flowing infinite. And we know we powerless without the power, of the omnipotent. Yo, I feel empowered, used to be a coward. Let me see if I can shake it. Let me see if I can break it by these deeds. Now words, let your voice be heard. Let these demons turn now, everybody up. Praise the Lord, let's go door to door. Let's see the universe begin to be restored. This is heated, won't be beat no matter what, I won't be seated. So let's be the unity, feel the unity, see the unity, be in unity. Let the definition
definition means something more than you and me. Examine close, use your scrutiny and truthfully. Hey, let it take you higher places, let it twist you up and rewind. When you hit the ground, you'll see why this is so important. Every morning, every night, as I let the divine feed my soul, open up and take a bite. Hey, throw your hands up, let me see it. Let me see you stand up. Praising the most generous, the all-merciful, divine providence, the all-powerful, divine countenance, the all-glorious, the all-bounteous. We victorious, because we turn our face into the cause and we lifting up our hands, giving all the praise to God. Feel the love flowing infinite. And we know we powerless without the power, of the omnipotence. Hey, of the omnipotence. Of the omnipotence. Of the omnipotence. Of the omnipotence.
All right, Colby, thank you.
Right
Very
on.
awesome.
That's the omnipotence. So that could be a mantra for you to think about, that God has all, or the Creator has all of that power, and all we have to do is just tap into it to exercise it in our own life. And remembering that. And then I got one more track for you also, again, just to kind of echo back to Sue. I think having these mantras, these divine mantras that help guide us, and give us direction and give us peace, and clarity in life are so important to, especially, not to get on our own egocentric mind, which can be so destructive. So this is a new song I wrote recently. This one's called Free, and this one's very much a mantra. And it's a call and response type song, which I was talking with Howard. I don't know how that'll go on Zoom, but what I'm going to ask you to do, I know your phones are muted, but I still want you to participate in the mantra and the call and response, even if we can't hear each other. So basically the way the song goes, or the way the hook goes, is when I say be, you say free. Be, and then I want you guys to all, in your own rooms, in your own households, I want you to shout it out, free. All right, so let's practice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to trust that you all said it. All right, and then the next part says, when I say think, you say peace. Think.
Peace.
Think.
Peace.
Hey, that's right. All right, so that's how this one goes. This one's called Free. Thank you guys so much for having me on today. Thank you, Howard. Hope you guys enjoy this, and hopefully it gives you a mantra to guide you throughout the rest of the day and beyond. All right, so check this out. Yo, when I say be, you say free. Be. Be. When I say think, you say peace. Think.
Peace.
F to the R to the double E. There's a ton of these troubles that we got hovering like a cloud. You serious? Nope. Cumulonimbus. So hand me my umbrella, please. That's a clear mind, clear soul to cover me from the rain and the thundering. Shut all these bad energies. Train my brain, that's my shuttle to peace. Look down at the puddle and see the subtle reflection of the sun funneling one ray of light up to my eyes. That's hope. As I float, as I fly over what is bugging me, took a sting from the bumbles and they humble me. So I flee, then I'm humbly praying like a mantis, stand with strength through the suffering. Oh, you say free, be. When I say think, you say peace. Think, think. When I say be, you say free. Be. When I say think, you say peace. Think. P to the E, A to the C, E. If I want it for the world, gotta feel it inside of me. Positive energy activates constant elevation of individuals all the way to nations. Purifying every action completely of ego. Practice empathy, acceptance, compassion. That's the ethos. Positively of the community entirely. Produce expressions of art that cause enlightenment. Protect the environment. Actively conserve the earth. People everywhere are created equal across the world. With peace, there's prosperity. Peace needs solidarity. Peace, it's the dream, it's the end and the means. Yeah, peace, you can teach it, you can make it, you can build it. Peace, you can learn it, you can add it to your skill set. Peace, from the west to the east, all of the war can just cease. Spiritual powers release, now that's peace. So when I say be, you say free. Be. When I say think, you say peace. Think. When I say be, you say free. Be. When I say think, you say peace. Think. When I remember who I was created to be, break loose from the chains, that's free. Release from the prison of self, I become a pure channel of the divine, that's freedom. One day, these ruinous wars shall cease to make way for the most great peace. When the whole world all becomes one, the most great peace shall come. So when I say be, you say free. Be. When I say think, you say peace. Think. When I say be, you say free. Be. When I say think, you say peace. Think. Hey, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you having me on this morning. I'll go ahead and post my info in the chat so you can listen to more tracks, and hopefully that song brings you a little peace and freedom today. So thanks, Howard. Back over to you.
Thank you as always, Colby. You're amazing. Your words are inspiring. Keep on keeping on. And just want to throw out there real quick that you won the Martin Luther King Jr. Award in Arizona last year, right? For your inspirational words, right? So
Somehow, I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I was awarded the Living the Dream Award, Martin Luther King Jr. Award for one of 4 people, and there was also a distinguished person who won the Lifetime Achievement Award. So that was definitely one of probably top honor in my lifetime. So
that is an honor. Yes, awesome. Well, we're so grateful you're here as always, and definitely want you back on. So thank you for being a part of Raise Your Vibration. And
pleasure.
Okay. Well, next we are going to calm down a little bit and have a nice little meditation and end this off. We're trying to keep this under an hour every week. So, and just also want to throw out there that this is a platform that we created for all the speakers, musicians, and those meditation teachers, those who want to get their name out. This is all done. Everyone's giving their heart and their soul, and it's all done for free. And this is a platform for all of us to share, to get this inspiration more to the world. So please share that we're doing this, and whoever you know who wants to come on here and be a meditation, do exercises or be a speaker, or who wants to be a musician, send them our way, please. And they can go to raiseyourvibrationevent@gmail.com and send an email. And we'd love to have more people on. So thank you. Dominic, take it away, my brother.
Everyone, so I guess we're gonna have to come back down from that feeling right this. We're gonna have to calm back down. Can everyone hear me okay? Howard, you got a thumbs up? My levels are good. I do various forms of healing I call it Get to Core Healing, and it's a combination of bioenergy balancing, Reiki, EFT, color therapy. And so what I wanted to do today was to kind of check in with everyone to find what we're going to do today. I want to do a little bit of going through what energy is maybe in you right now, whether you're affected by a collective consciousness, whether you're affected by people needing you and trying to affect your chakras and courting you, whether you have worry inside of you and your large intestine meridian. And I'm going to try to just do what we can. I may use some words that you may not completely understand, but if whatever image you can take in your mind from what I'm saying, the stronger the image is, or the more you can connect with the image, the better it's going to be to help that energy shift within you, okay? So let's start. Just take a few deep breaths here. And exhale. And deep breath in. And exhale. And as you start this breathing, you should start to feel the seat beneath you, the floor beneath you. Inhale. Exhale. And as you start to feel the seat, start to feel it growing deeper, deeper through the chair, through the seat, into the floor, almost like a tree trunk going straight down into the earth. And as it gets further deeper in the earth, going deeper, deeper into the earth's core. And now imagine all the little roots out in all directions, anchoring you down into this earth, fully grounding you, fully connecting you. And now through these roots, I want you to see this beautiful golden liquid light, almost like lava, coming up through the root structure, filling up the roots, filling up the tree trunk, coming up through the earth, up to you. And now it starts to fill up your feet, your legs, your arms, your sit bone, your hips, your shoulders, your arms, your neck. Fills up the entire body with this golden light. And as it surrounds your heart, let's expand that out to 360 degrees in all directions. And just be in this space. Now let's imagine a beautiful red rose floating above us. And let's see this red rose having beautiful magnetic qualities. As this red rose activates, it starts to pull out any of the worries, the pains, the fears that are just lying on top of us right now, that are weighing us down, and let that collect all of these items that are on you. As it gets bigger and bigger, it collects more and more. And now as this red rose gets bigger and bigger and filled up, we're gonna send that out, open the door, send it outside, send that out over the horizon as far as the eye can see. And then once it gets over the horizon, let's explode that and let it return and transmute back into the earth and the sky and the sea. And now I want to imagine that a bubble is being put around you, this beautiful bubble filled with white light. And these are going to be your boundaries that we're going to start to fortify all around you. There's the boundaries that keep you safe, that keep your vibration high. And as we build this all around you, you can allow that and just breathe. Now we're going to take our gaze inward. And we're going to start looking at saying, what are my boundary exceptions? And we're going to collect all of those. And as you scan through your head, all of the exceptions that you make for your boundaries, maybe it's someone you want to connect with. Maybe it's someone that you love. Maybe it's someone that you feel bad for. Maybe it's someone that you feel their pain. Maybe because you're an empathetic person that you have exceptions for people that you work with. And allow all these exceptions to be in your head and start pulling them back towards the back of your skull, the back of the base of the head and the neck. Let's find them all into one little ball there. And let's take these exceptions, and with one hand, we're going to pull that straight out, allowing that your empathy, your boundaries are going to still keep you strong and keep your field impenetrable. And now we're going to do a scan of our chakras. And we're going to see if there's anyone or anything that has been courting us in, anyone that's been trying to control us or dump on us or to reach out for us. Maybe this could be someone who's been relying on you, or someone who's been needing you, or someone who's been dumping on you, or someone who's projecting on you. And let's scan up from your first chakra, going up to your navel. As you get to your third chakra, your solar plexus, if there's anything there, let's just start pulling straight out. And they could look like arrows, they could look like a lasso, they could look like just a vector coming out. Let's find whatever those are and pull those out and throw those to the side. If you have a candle, throw them there. Let's go up to the heart chakra, and if there's more there, go ahead, pull those out. Start just pulling and letting them go, and throw them into the candle or throw them just away. Let's go up to your throat. If you felt any tightness in your throat, have to clear your voice a lot. You may be corded in here, and let's start finding these cords and start just grabbing on and pulling, grabbing and pulling, grabbing and pulling. And then let's throw them into the candle. And let's go up to your sixth chakra, your third eye, and let's start just pulling those out, pulling those out. And let's go up to our seventh chakra, our crown chakra. And let's see if there's anything in there and pull that out completely. And just breathe in this space, and let's allow our biofield to start spinning again. Let those vortexes of energy start spinning and start spinning higher and higher and faster as they go through every heart center, every throat center, every chakra fills up. And now we're going to find all the worry in our body, where it's held in our large intestine meridian. And we're going to see if there are any blockages. We're going to clear those out right now. And we're going to take the tips of our inside of our finger, of our index finger. We're going to take those up to our side of our nose, and we're going to let them drain across the mouth, down the shoulders, across the collarbone. They're going to drain down the lateral side of the arm, the outside of the forearm, between the thumb and forefinger, and they are going to go out that index finger, out the inside corner of those, and let them just drain. Let that energy just flow through any stagnant, any sludgy energy that's been in there, and allow all worry, helpless sympathy to just be removed. That doesn't serve us. And now, as it fills back up, we're going to allow this white light to fill up through that finger bed and start coming back up, up, up. We're going to cross across the face to the other side of the nose, filling back up completely. And the last thing we're going to disconnect from today is we're going to look around us and allow our consciousness to see what else has been affecting us. And we may be connected to this collective consciousness, a consciousness of doom and gloom, of low vibrational people, of shock, of worry and fear. And we can feel like if it's been weighing you down, I want you to reach up and start counting above your head. I want you to count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that is your 12th chakra. And I want you to take in one hand, grab that chakra, any cords or connection to this collective consciousness, and with the other hand, you can either yank it out or take spiritual scissors. And we're going to cut that cord to this collective consciousness. And as that cord is cut, we can start releasing that connection to all of the doom and gloomers and allow us to be within ourselves and just throw that away into a candle or just to the side. And now let's take our arms right the side of either side of the head, and we're going to start lifting up, taking off any collective consciousness that was in our field, any of that pain that does not belong to us, and we're going to lift and throw it away. And allow ourselves to feel light, harmony within ourselves. And now lastly, let's find the group within ourselves, create our own collective consciousness with each other and connect with the higher vibration that we've been putting out today. And allow that to be fully connected. And here we'll make our requests and commands for today. I command and request to keep my vibration in this realm 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I also command and request to use an activating word, SOAR, S-O-A-R. When I feel my vibration going lower, all I have to do is say this word and it will raise my vibration back to where it is right now. I command and request to keep my boundaries fortified 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I also command and request to use the word shield as an activator to refortify my boundaries when I feel like they have been damaged or weakened. I don't know how I'm able to detach from others' worries and feel the healthiest form of empathy within my body that still maintains the proper boundaries. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I'm able to allow and accept where I am, where I can fully see a clear and obvious path forward. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I'm able to choose the positive pivot in my life and embrace this transformational time in my stationary cocoon. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I'm able to raise my financial set point and recognize all the examples of abundance in my life, whether it's family, health, money, all the love that you feel, all the examples of abundance that's in your life. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I'm able to allow love to be my gateway to my intuition and to overpower all fear and cynicism that may be filling me up. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I'm able to allow my practical mind to get on board with my intuitive guidance and vibrate at a higher level to allow my intuition to fully guide me. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I'm able to serve, model behavior, and be the change I want to see in this world. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. And lastly, I don't know how I'm able to open my arms and receive fully all of the gifts that the Creator gives me, regardless of what shape it comes in. I only know that this is so and I am fulfilled. And as we let those commands vibrate out into the world, almost like a stone being dropped onto a still pond, let's see those waves ripple out, knowing that they will come back tenfold, hundredfold, 1,000-fold. And as we make this shift energetically above us, let's start to feel this download coming from our spiritual body down into our emotional and physical body, making this download instantaneous and allowing our physical body to start making these shifts in a peaceful, gentle manner. Let's take our gaze now down, down, inward, 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 and see in the molecular level all of the old DNA that we once had that was holding us back, and see this DNA start to unravel, unwind, turn to gray, and fall into a pile of ash. And from the pile of ash, like the phoenix, let's see this brand new DNA, these beautiful spiral staircases of colors of red and yellow and gold and blue and green start to rewind within our body, filling us completely with brand new DNA of limitless possibilities. And breathe. And as we feel at peace in the moment, in the space, let's allow ourselves to start noticing who we are, where we are, and hear the noises in the room, feel our feet start to wiggle our toes, our fingers, come back gently behind the mask and start opening up and coming back to this space that we're in right now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes back up.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you. It was a feeling.
That was great. Very perfect way to end today. The Phoenix rising. That's the perfect expression of exactly where we are right now, where we're going to raise our vibration like the Phoenix. Yeah. Come out of the ashes and move forward as humanity on the planet and make a difference in this world. So namaste. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Please share your information in the chat.
Absolutely.
How people can get a hold of you. And I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank Gwendolyn K for being my hostess. Gwen, are you there? I think I opened you up.
I absolutely am. Thank you very much.
Oh, hold on a second. I muted you. Gotta unmute you, Gwen. There we go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's a great way to start the day. Some great guests, some great information. They're going to put their information down in the chat so you can find them, right? So that's even better.
Right.
And of course, that will eventually be on the website.
Right. So the website is almost done, probably within a couple days. And we're going to have all these episodes recorded and edited. They're going to look professionally and done and beautiful. And they're going to be on the website, which is raiseyourvibrationevent.com. Again, raiseyourvibrationevent.com. That should be coming up here probably by Sunday or Monday. As well as you can see other videos and you can see information from all of our previous musicians and speakers. And next week, every Friday, 11 a.m., be here to raise your vibration more. Next week, we're going to have some great speakers. We're going to have Angel Marie, who has the Shine On movement, and she was the speaker at our first event, live event here in Phoenix that we had back in September. She's very inspirational. She'll be moving forward and teaching you how to shine on in this time, like all of us. And we're going to have some fabulous music. I think it's going to be a special surprise, but Emily K is her name. But she's going to be doing a video for us, which is going to be phenomenal. And then we're going to have meditation. And I think it's going to be Gwendolyn doing the meditation for us next week. So looking forward to that. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great week. Keep your energy high. Shine on, shine your light. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Sue.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Shelby.
Your